And thereof, its stable companions taking on each other in a match. The Ladbrokes Novice Chase, Grade 1, over 2-5 and 14 fences. It's Gaelic Warrior over the first from fact to file, 2 lengths between them. Turning out of the back straight and striding on, Gaelic Warrior the favourite from fact to file. Fence number 2 is a ditch. Gaelic Warrior and Paul Townend making it from fact to file, Mark Walsh. Heading for fence number 3 on the approach to the straight. Gaelic Warrior by 2.5 lengths to fact to file as they set their sights on the third. Gaelic Warrior into number 3. 4 in front of fact to file as they turn into the straight to fence number 4 in the Ladbrokes Novice Chase match. Gaelic Warrior leads in, stable companion fact to file as they're about to shape up for the 4th fence. The fence will be the last one next time. Gaelic Warrior followed by fact to file, order unchanged. Gaelic Warrior jumps off to the right. Fact to file within a couple of lengths as the pair pass the stands the first time, with the circuit to race and 10 more fences left to jump. And re-establishing a lead of 3 to 4 lengths, Gaelic Warrior over fact to file. It's Gaelic Warrior has looked a dominant force over fences so far. The Faugheen winner at Christmas. Fact to file. Back within a couple of lengths. It was a visually striking display from him here last time out as they jumped to 5th. Inside the final mile and a half, 9 fences left to jump. Gaelic Warrior tracked all the while by fact to file. Into the wings of the 6th, Gaelic Warrior. Fact to file, no changes. Continuing their progress towards the halfway stage in today's first Grade 1, the Ladbrokes Novice Chase. And it's Gaelic Warrior joined by fact to file. They're together with 8 fences left to jump. They swing a left to head into the back straight. Hard to split them at this juncture. Fact to file and Gaelic Warrior going towards the 7th fence. They're in the air together. Gaelic Warrior landed marginally in front from fact to file. 9 furlongs to go, 7 fences left to jump, edging on by 3 parts, Gaelic Warrior from fact to file. Going to the fence a little over a mile from the finish. Gaelic Warrior and Paul Townend over that from fact to file and Mark Walsh. Heading for their second ditch. Gaelic Warrior back a couple of lengths in front of fact to file, who has taken the unorthodox route of going straight over fences from bumpers. Gaelic Warrior jumped that slightly better than his stable companion fact to file. Right across from the stands, they're racing to the fence at the completion of a circuit. Gaelic Warrior, who's made the bulk of the running so far. Fact to file briefly joined on entering the back straight as they return to the point at which they started. 4 fences left to jump in race 2, the Ladbrokes Novice Chase. Gaelic Warrior, fact to file. Gaelic Warrior landed awkwardly, and fact to files through on the inside to just nudge on in front, heading to the 3rd last fence, which is the final ditch. Fact to file now the definite leader. Leads by a couple of lengths, Gaelic Warrior. 3rd last fence, fact to file, jumped that well. Now by 3.5 lengths to Gaelic Warrior, who now sees himself 5 lengths behind. 2 fences left to jump, and it's fact to file and Mark Walsh from Gaelic Warrior and Paul Townend as the stable companions near the 2nd last. Fact to file over from Gaelic Warrior, who appears to have no response as they turn into the straight with a good long run to the final fence in the match, the Ladbrokes Novice Chase, and it's fact to file turning in from Gaelic Warrior. An ever-increasing gap between the stable companions as Mark Walsh has a look back On Fact to File, Gaelic Warrior, a remote second now, and has well and truly accepted defeat as Fact to File comes to the 14th and final fence and safely over from Gaelic Warrior, who's just coming into it, runs down and has gone. Gaelic Warrior and Paul Townend have parted ways at the final fence, as Fact to File will finish alone, taking the next step over Leopardstown fences in the Ladbrokes Novice Chase. Fact to File, the winner, Mark Walsh, Willie Mullins, JP McManus.
So Willie Mullins has just won his 11th Ladbrokes Novice Chase, his 5th Grade 1 of the DRF this year, but I suppose it's a race that has provided you with more worries than answers, really, with Fact to File winning and Gaelic Warrior and seating.
Yeah, I hear Paul is all right. I don't know anything about Gaelic Warrior. I'm not hearing any bad news yet, but something happened around, was it the 5th last or something like that? Yeah, and 4th last, yeah, so I don't know what went wrong, but Paul obviously wasn't happy with the horse, and I'd say he was only going because there was only one horse in front of him. I'd say if there had been 2 or 3 others, it looked like he might have pulled up. But anyhow,
was he a bit gassy beforehand? He seemed gassy in the paddock.
He was. I thought he was in the parade ring before that, but that's him, you know. So I wasn't too worried about it, but certainly worried that he punctured at that part in the race. I wouldn't have thought he should be, you know.
And what, if anything, did you learn about Fact to File?
Well, that he's possibly just as good as we had hoped. You know, he's a horse I've loved from the first day he came into the stable. He always looked like he had a future ahead of him, and he ran well in bumpers. And, you know, he's come out doing everything now over fences. I didn't want to go novice hurdling with him because I thought he was a chaser. He looks a chaser, he yaks and jumps like one. He's so laid back, and I thought, let's get jumping with him. And, you know, things are working out for him. And
do you have a clear view of where you want to take him at the festival?
Not yet. I'll have a word with JP and Frank, and we'll see. You know, I imagine it'll be the 2.5 or the 3 miles. So
you don't have a strong leaning?
I don't. We'll see. This weekend is going to tell us a lot about what horse are going to run in which races. We were very unlucky with Grangeclare West that he didn't come here today.
And how is he, by the way?
He's okay, but just couldn't come this morning. So. For luck, I was able to ring Shively Park and tell them not to board their flight in Heathrow, so save them the journey over. But
it is minor. He hasn't done himself a
I don't know. I don't know. No, we're going to see when I get home and over the next week. But he just couldn't compete here today, anyhow.
You've got 5 in on the very next race. I just want to ask you about one. It's the one I don't know anything about, Gold Dancer. What can you tell me about it?
He's a good horse. It'll be interesting to see him in the parade ring now against all the other horses. He just might need the run, but he's a decent horse, you know. But I have to get him out sometime, and I felt this was the opportunity to get him out, and let's see what he's like. I'm as fascinated as you are to see how he measures against all these. But whatever he does today, he'll improve.
Okay, well, best of luck here. I'm sure we'll talk the rest of the day. Best of luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.